abilities. So at first we did have a 3-day training situation where they taught us it was called concierge core, where they taught us the steps to the software and how we interacted with the guest. So that was a really good start. And then the first week of my program, I had a couple of trainers that really helped me out. And then as I increased into my program, I really tried to let go of that and I started to be really independent. Two, I discovered more myself that I can adapt to any situation and deal with it as the best of my abilities when it comes to a guest. I know that I've improved in the fact that I'm always ready to impress not only my leadership, but also my fellow cast members and the guests. So for me, my work ethic is very important. So I was glad to show how dedicated I was to my role, even if I didn't enjoy it at first. I was really dedicated to show them how my dedication to what I was doing. Since it was part of my career, it was very important for me to impress my leadership, even if I wasn't staying with the Walt Disney Company, because I really just it's a talent for me and a compliment for me to showcase my skills. Three, I constantly went above my expectations that my leaders had for me. I tried my best to do anything I could stand out from the rest of the college students. So at first, I really did rely on my fellow college students, but I kind of started going away from that because I started to want to do my own thing. Um, so each of my shifts, I usually just stand right by the front door so I can receive. I'm the first one who gets all the guests because I love talking to my guests. Four, accepting difficult situations as an opportunity to grow. So I did have a lot of difficult guests. I'm really good with dealing with these situations because I did work retailer for a really long time. So something like that is one of my talents as well, accepting that not everything is going to be perfect all the time, and I just have to deal with it very calmly. What obstacles did I think would stand in the way at the beginning of my program? One, a limited amount of time, which means basically that I only signed up for a 6-month program. So I really wanted to showcase my skills, and I was scared that I couldn't showcase that with a limited amount of time. Two, competition with other interns. Three, adaptability in the environment. And four, relocation. Relocation wise, I was scared to be 8 hours from my family. I'm from Georgia, and also just adapting to a new job. That's something I really struggle with the change of adapting to a new job, but I would say I picked up fairly quickly. I did very much struggle at first, but I picked up. How do I think I would address these obstacles? One, look for new opportunities. Two, stand out to my employers. Three, build connections with peers and accept new routines. And four, research the roles and focus on opportunities. What are the actual obstacles I faced? So, challenging and unhappy guests. As a new intern, my leaders expected me to take these situations personally when a guest projects their anger on me. However, I managed to manage the situations calmly and proceeded with my day. So, like I said, I'm deal with most situations very calmly. I just accept the fact that they're probably not angry at me, they're angry at other things, and I just take it with a grain of salt and just make sure that I deal with it in the most professional way as possible. So, over hours, I had a hard time with the amount of work that was available. I wish there was a lot more room for me to reach my full potential. So, with my specific role, and really any specific role, that is what you're doing. So, as a resort concierge, although there's other multiple roles like a runner, with a runner, I could deliver packages to rooms, make amenities for the rooms, unlock doors, unlock safes. That was another role that was thankfully included into my role, so I had some type of diversity. But otherwise, when I got scheduled on the desk, if there wasn't a guest, I kind of just had to wait for the guest to come to me or wait for something to kind of happen. And at first, I really did struggle with this because I like I like when it's busy. I like when there's a lot of work, but I kind of adapt to that and just started taking my time with the guests to make sure that they knew everything specifically and make sure that they were good with their stay. Being grouped in with other CPs, the college students, I was feeling like I was grouped in with the other college program students. So I kind of struggled with this. I'm still kind of struggling with it. Like I said, was very close to my fellow college students, but I felt as though my leaders grouped us in all together. So if one person wasn't on the desk, wasn't doing their job properly, I felt that they saw us all the same. And I really struggle with this, so I had to be apart from my friends and make sure that my very first priority was showing my leaders and my FSAs, which were my managers, that I was just really dedicated to my day and my job, and I wasn't there to of course I was there to make friends, but I was more dedicated to my job than the other college students. Deciding to extend or move on to another job. So my first couple months were pretty rough. I was pretty set on not extending, but once I started changing my mindset and started growing away from those people, from my other college students, I really started to enjoy my job. I started to just throw myself into my job, and I ended up not being able to extend, which is really upsetting, but I did receive another job in South Carolina in Hilton Head, which is not Disney, but that's completely okay. And I know that Disney being on my resume and having this experience really helped me with these other future interviews that I had. Having a constant positive attitude. So with the Walt Disney Company, our motto is to constantly be happy, give magic to guests. That's something I really struggled with because there's things outside of work that really affected me. There's things inside that work that really affected me, and I just had to learn that not only helping me keeping positive attitude helped others, keeping a positive attitude was supposed to be my priority. So I really tried to change that. And if something happened, I just try to stay calm and just focus on my job the entire time. Accepting Disney's leadership structure. So with being in hotel, restaurant, and tourism management, I very much look into other management, and it's kind of something that I study. So the leadership structure. There's us, which are the college students. There's the part-timers, the full-timers, and then there's the FSAs, which are managers who stay on stage, which means being in front of the guest. And then we have our leaders, which are kind of the background. They're not too much on the desk, and it was kind of really hard for me to accept that because the leaders are my bosses. And I had a really hard time connecting with them because I felt like they were never on stage like the rest of us were. But I had to, if I had an issue, if I had any concerns, I would go to them, but I didn't have a special connection with them because I felt like they were never really actually on stage helping the guests, interacting with us. So that's something I also very much struggled with. This is my works cited. Really enjoyed my internship. Um, I kind of wish I was extending, but I'm very grateful for the future opportunities that I received. And thank you for being here and listening to me. Have a great day.